Welcome to the Confidence Igniter podcast, the podcast that just don't talk about confidence, but we build it and work it out. Well, I am excited about today's episode. It is titled Reality Check. Yes, reality check. Tell me this. Have you ever had someone say to you, we all have different realities. Your reality is not my reality. Or have you ever had someone say, you need to get a reality check wrong? Well, I want to suggest that sometimes we all have to have a reality check. Why do I say that? Because a lot of times we think things that is just not true, or we tell ourselves things that are not true. Because whatever you tell yourself, that becomes your reality. See, a lot of times we will look at other people and see how they're moving and going to the next level in life, and things just seem good for them. And then we look at ourselves and we wonder why things are not moving sometime in our life. But could it be that what they tell themselves is totally different from what you tell yourself? Because we live our life based upon the stories that we tell ourselves. If you're always telling yourself that you're having bad luck, that things doesn't work out for you, you'll never go to the next level in life. If you tell yourself all of the negative things, your mind has to make you right. But if you take time out and say, things are getting better. And even though when you look out into your reality, they may not appear that way. But the more you tell yourself things are getting better for you, each of us have an opportunity to do some great things in life. But it's all about the stories we tell ourselves. Like I've said before, there were times that I told myself stories because I was a high school dropout. My life would be where it is unless I went back to school or did something different. But basically, I was where I was because of choices I made. But I was where I was because of what I kept telling myself. It was the stories. Those stories that I told myself truly became my reality. And what I'm suggesting to you is that if you are at a point in your life that you're not satisfied with it, what are you saying to yourself? See, if you're telling yourself stories that keep you grounded, trust me, you won't go anywhere. You will continue to go around in circles in life. But I truly believe that if you're listening to this podcast, I truly you want more out of life than what you're giving yourself. Now, maybe you're enjoying life, but you still want to go to the next level. Because even when we're at the top of our game, we're still striving for more. And maybe that more that you're striving for is a little bit more of a challenge than you, time before when you was reaching for a goal or striving for something different. Tell yourself, I can do it. Because once again, whatever you tell the mind, that's what it produces. Have you ever noticed that if you say, "Ooh, I have a headache," or "I don't feel good," your mind responds to that? Now, you may not get a headache right then and there, but eventually you start feeling sick because you said, "I don't feel good. My head hurt." Think about that. But if you tell yourself, I'm not sick. I may not feel my very best, but I'm not sick." Your mind will follow and it will produce that. And especially if you have an emotion that goes along with it, because truly, even though we follow our stories, but it's truly the emotion that calls us to move. So, whatever that emotion is, if you tell yourself like you the best thing walking, of course, when you tell yourself, like, hey, I know I'm all of that. Okay, I know my confidence is up high. Guess what? It's an emotion that comes with that. It's a feeling. If you were to say to yourself right now, you know what? I'm at the top of my game, whether you at the top of your game or not, right? But eventually it becomes your reality. And because that emotion put with that statement that you made, right? That feeling, you're like, man, I know I can do this. No matter what, I know I can do this. Let me tell you, working on some of the projects that I've been working on lately, okay? Um, Even with my nonprofit tab, Turning Around Futures, working on that project alone has brought so much joy while building the board and looking at the things that we're doing and things to come, our Christmas ball that we're already planning. This is what, the month of February, almost into the month of March, right? Well, we're already planning this Christmas ball and just planning it out, and that feeling, that emotion is a eventually this is going to become my reality. Why? Because the feeling I got, the stories I keep telling myself, oh no, we got this. We're going to have so many people, even with the board, I'm telling them, like, hey, you know what? Challenge yourself to intentionally meet people, because you need people, whether you have a board or not, whether you're not doing anything, you still need people. Collaboration is the new currency. I'm going to say that again. Collaboration is currency, because when you need something, where do you go? You tend to go to people. If you need something that you cannot find, you may go and ask a friend, right? So that's why I'm saying giving yourself a reality check in order for you to be able to move forward in life, in order to do some things you truly, truly want to do. And it's okay to take a moment out and think about it. Think about what it is that you really, really want to do. And then when you think about what it is that you really, really want to do, ask yourself what's holding you back. I'll guarantee you, your mind most likely gonna come up with a story that says it's holding me back for whatever reason. If So then ask your mind a different question. You figure out what it is that you want to do, right? So instead of saying what's holding me back, say what's going to move me forward. Ask, now you're making your mind think. You're changing the reality. Because in most cases we always want to know what's stopping us. Reality check. What's moving me forward? Because it's that thing that's going to get you to the next level in life. It is that thought process when you constantly ask yourself the question, what's going to move me versus what's going to hold me? Because in all actuality, you know what's holding you, yourself. I mean, we make up a lot of stories about this is stopping me, that is stopping me. But let me tell you something. Nothing can stop a made up mind. Nothing. Only thing that can stop a made up mind is God Almighty. Okay. Outside of that, when your mind is made up to do something different, to have something different, or working on something that means a lot to you, nothing will stop you from doing it because your mind is made up. Okay. You done already went through the taking out the time to figure out, okay, I need to move that aside. I got to get that out of my way. You know what? Because this is what I want my new reality to be. You can have anything you desire in life if you are willing to do something different. See, a lot of times we want a different lifestyle, but we don't want to do anything different. We want to live a better life, but we don't want to do anything different. We just want to talk about it. I know because I've been there. I've been the one saying, oh, you know what? I want to do this, 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 this. But you know what? Unless you're going to be about what you talk about, you're going to be right there where you at. Unless you're willing to do something different. It's maybe you need to educate yourself in a particular arena that you want to move into because it's possible. I know for myself, being in politics, there are things that I've had to educate and still educating myself on. Why? Because If I want to walk into different rooms, I at least need to know something when I'm walking into those rooms. That's not gonna be good when I'm in a conversation and I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just talking. So if it's something that you truly desire, start looking at what will move you forward. Forget about what will move, what's holding you back. Okay, change the question. What's going to move me forward? Give yourself a reality check because you have the power to be anything you desire to be. There's power in you. There's greatness in you. And the only thing that stops you is you. I was speaking to a couple of ladies yesterday. We were talking about pretty much a conversation similar to this of moving forward. And I said, I've never been to jail. I hope I never go. I've never been to prison. I hope I never go. But that's probably isn't the worst place to be. I don't want to go. But what I mean by that is this. If you go to jail for something minor, they close the bars and and at some point you serve your time, you get out, right? But the worst prison that you could ever find yourself in is the prison of your mind because you are the prisoner, you are the bailiff, you are the judge, you are the jury, you hold the key. Only you can let yourself out. If you're not willing to let yourself out, you don't get out. Your reality becomes that you continue to hold on to. Now, someone might say, well, Tamiko, what about what's going on around me? You don't control that. Your reality is based upon what you decide. But you got to first decide to get out of somebody else's reality because sometimes that's what we do. We get caught up in other people's reality and we have conversations that we should not have. And sometimes those conversations causes us to look at life and say, "Man, I wish things were better for me." Well, don't wish. Work. That sounds good, didn't it? Don't wish. Work. You could sit and say, "Well, you know what? How does she know?" Because I haven't always been sitting where I'm sitting. I haven't always had what I had. I said it was the stories that I kept telling myself that were not good stories that caused me to have the reality that kept showing up in my life. I had to give myself a reality check. I had to ask myself, what do you really want out of life? And that's the question I ask you today. What do you really want out of life? What are you willing to work at? That means you're going to have to make some sacrifices. You're going to have to shift your thinking. If you want a different reality, it comes from you. No one can give that to you. No one. I don't care who it is. It comes from you. You got to be willing to see in your mind what it is that you truly desire. See, when you sitting there looking at TV, take a few minutes out of looking at TV, or when you laying in your bed at night, think about it. What is it that you really want to get out of life? If when you close your eyes and you disconnect from the rest of the world, picture yourself doing, being, having whatever it is that you desire. Now you may say, "Oh, and then when I open my eyes, it's not there." Right, right. And that's why you got to give yourself a reality check. Because if you keep seeing what it is that you truly desire, it's gonna show up. How do I know? Because if you're not getting what you really want out of life, that's because you calling what you really don't want out of life, and you're wondering why you keep getting what you're getting because you're getting it because you're calling it. I'm suggesting give yourself a reality check so you can get what you really want out of life and enjoy that because you deserve it. You deserve it. See yourself in your mind's eye build it in your head. Whatever that life is, build it in your head. Do it every single day until it show up in your reality. Every day when you go to bed at night or when you wake up in the morning, see what it is that you desire in life. See how you want your life to be. And I guarantee you, the more you see yourself doing what it is that you really want to do, you know what? You're going to get happy. You're going to get that feeling. You're going to be like, oh man, I got this. It feels so good. Man, it's happening. And you may not even see the physical evidence of it yet. But if you get that feeling on the inside and you're like, man, I know something good is happening. Something good in the atmosphere is happening. There is a scripture that says, declare a thing, and so shall it be. My question that I leave with you today is, what are you declaring? Because the good book says, declare a thing, and so shall it be. And that's will become your reality. Give yourself a reality check. If the life you're living is not the life you're liking. Well, this has been the show for today. And I hope you have enjoyed it. Please take time out. Let me say it that way. Take time out to subscribe, share, and like. And once again, pass it on. Pass it on. Remember, give yourself a reality check. Make it work for you. Well, before I go, I definitely want to remind you that every third Saturday, which was third Saturday was over this weekend here. So the next third Saturday in the month of March, um, Fortified City Christian Church, they have their food distribution. Once again, it's every third Saturday. So if you are in need of food, please show up at 2477 Canton Road, 2477 Canton Road in Marietta, Georgia. Until we meet again, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye. Don't forget reality check.